Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Today, we have some news on a very important and very interesting crypto hack, some XRP Ripple update, because things are getting very interesting for that, and of course, a little piece, just a little piece on the whole FTX drama as CZ just spoke out. I want to share that with you guys, even though I know many people are kind of done with all the FTX garbage. Now, also, one very important thing, one very juicy thing, and everybody, if you watch this right now, make sure you press the like button on this video for that right now. Press it. Thank you very much. You are appreciated. I appreciate you very much. In Brazil, things are doing extremely good for crypto because apparently Brazil's Congress moves to regulate crypto payments, actually becoming proper legal tender in the Brazil. Brazil's Congress has passed a bill that paves the way for banks to begin offering payment services around Bitcoin and other crypto assets. That is huge. I don't want to go too far into it because it is, for me, pretty far away. I've never been to Brazil. I want to go to Brazil soon, but it's not something I notice every single day, nor is it a very big part of my audience, so it doesn't matter for most people watching. But the fact that the fundamentals of crypto are ever so growing, the framework is being set in stone in a good way, is kind of a interesting Congress in comparison to what we are seeing in the US, right? Like what we covered last night. US Senate committee hearing on FTX fail brings gaps in regulatory stuff to light. And again, the fact that the Commodity Future Trading Commission chairman asked Congress to move quickly on crypto bill, as again, things are right now like the Wild West, as many have stated. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly let you guys in on that Brazil news, and I am very freaking excited about that. Then I want to quickly dive into this, in my own opinion, very major hit piece. So over on Twitter, CZ, the guy from Binance, is kind of hinting and digging a little bit because apparently something is going on with Ankr and potentially a couple other small projects around that. You can see possible hack on Ankr and hey, potentially a couple more. Initial analysis is developer private key was hacked, and the hacker updated the smart contract to add more malicious one. Binance paused withdrawals a few hours ago, also froze about $3 million that hackers already at that point moved to our exchange. GZ said Binance may be able to set up a contract auditor to protect projects on the Binance Smart Chain. And they said the original smart contract seemed to be okay, but once a hacker gets hold of the developer private key, they updated the smart contract. And so even if they had the proper auditors, which I guess they do, there's not really much you can do if a bad player comes in to try and change all the code around, obviously, right? One of the guys, Look on Chain, says this address earned 15.5 million BUSD from the hacks on Ankr and transferred to Binance. Will it be frozen? And obviously, as they always do, these guys will look into it. And luckily, I don't have to scratch my head around this, and it's Binance that has to be worried about all of this. But usually, Binance is pretty quick with stopping these hacks, a lot quicker than a lot of other exchanges. So I think, honestly, they are already blocking it or have already blocked it. But so yeah, that's what's going on right now. So that is not so good for Hey, and not so good for Ankr either. Hence the articles, right? Binance pauses withdrawals amid $5 million Ankr infinite mint hack. And you can kind of see, as we just showed, how it would basically work. But yeah, I don't want to dive too deep into that. Just for right now, if you have any, I would personally say be very, very careful with everything. Don't interact with any contracts, as the warnings have been put out there. Taking a little side look, you can actually see is it include the 15 million by the exploiter who used ABNBC to borrow Hey, and yes, that is part of it. Again, these guys are looking into it, they're not slow. And again, personally, I love the guys at Ankr. They have a very nice team, and they're very quick to respond to too, which is professional. 9 hours ago, our ABNB token has been exploited, and we are currently working with exchanges to immediately halt trading. And right now, the team at Ankr has assessed the damage, and it's maximum $5 million US. We're currently working hard to resolve the issue efficiently, and we would like to propose the following to address the current situation. The team at Ankr has assessed it. He will take a snapshot and reissue Ankr BNB to all valid ABNBC holders before the exploit. The Ankr BNB token will continue to be redeemable, while ABNBC and ABNBB will no longer be redeemable. Additionally, Ankr will purchase $5 million worth of BNB and use this to compensate in totality the liquidity providers that have been affected by the exploit due to drainage of the liquidity pool. So that is very professional. That is very good. Again, if you're an Ankr holder or anything of this sort, make sure you follow the instructions. Just check out the Ankr Twitter for more updates in that regard. Alright guys, but before we move on, I should tell you guys a project that's really caught my eye over the last couple of weeks. You guys all know I was a pretty big fan of Fitburn, this move to earn type of platform. And even though I don't want to say I understood fully all the principles behind it, it did earn me a lot. I did really enjoy the walk to earn money type of principle. And a little while ago in Dubai and over in Malta, I met up with these guys from Fitburn. They already raised a good chunk of money, and they're basically going to launch a better version of this move to earn, burn to earn, where the philosophy is get paid to get fit, and they're the official sponsors from Mr. Olympia. They also got themselves a pretty cool trailer for one of their upcoming events, basically. But just again to make you guys understand what it's all about, it's basically a new improved move to earn type of concept. At the event that I was, they won the Best Exercise to Earn award. They already got 2 major partnerships with Mr. Olympia and FIBO, if I remember correctly, and are backed by a couple of major players like Firechain and Swissborg. Now, from an honest perspective, will this project succeed? I honestly do believe so. Again, like always, it is very much dependent on the market, but because of the connections that they have, I do think that quite a lot of adoption is actually going to happen for this project. Again, I am not your financial advisor, and take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Well, anyway, I just think this might actually perform a lot better than Fitburn because you don't need to buy those freaking $2,000 sneakers. And there are a couple of other projects in this nature that are going to be launching in the near future or have launched in the latest past. And honestly, I just invest in a lot of them because many of them are going to pop off in my opinion. So there'll be a link down below for a pool. I think we've got a certain allocation that our community can invest. But yeah, that is down below, so just check it out. But I should just briefly add, nothing I say is financial advice. Whenever we talk about these investments, I personally think they might be smart, but at the end of the day, they might fail. We have an extremely good track record, but it doesn't always have to remain that way, so I think everybody knows. No, I know everybody knows I'm not a financial advisor. Still sometimes adding it in though, so people are sure to understand that crypto investments are still a riskier thing, even though it's all I do every single day. And now before we dive into XRP, there's still one very small thing. Right now over on Twitter, the feud is getting more and more interesting between CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried. As we already saw earlier, Sam Bankman-Fried was asked a question about, the whole CC debacle, did it impact you? And he didn't really answer. But right now, the answer is actually coming quite apparent, I guess, from a different interview. Sam Bankman-Fried says FTX would have been more stable if CZ stayed quiet. And that is actually quite true and quite logical as well. If CZ didn't say anything, obviously the whole little snowball effect wouldn't have happened as fast. And Sam Bankman-Fried said because things happened so fast and so severely, the whole cookie came crumbling down. If CZ stayed quiet for a little bit longer, or stayed quiet altogether, it probably wouldn't have happened so quickly. But yeah, what is the best ethical code right there? I've said it before. If you notice a scam, if you see a scam, very often the best thing to do is just call it out as soon as you see it, as soon as you know, with the most transparency and honesty as possible. Even though if you didn't call out the scam, many people would have most likely made more money and be more whole. Potentially, the fact that you're letting this slide might actually make the scam recover, and it will turn into a bigger scam that eventually might or might not implode. But it's the same sense as whenever you call it a Ponzi scheme, it implodes. And that's never nice, because if you let it slip, well, most likely that specific person would have gotten their money back, and so they're not happy with you. However, if you think about it, the longer you let a Ponzi scheme go its course, the worse the results are eventually going to be. That's why this is a little bit of a hot take and a very interesting topic. One of the guys said, CZ, you have the resource and insight to know early on how bad the situation and the actors are. Keep calling them out and let them prove you wrong. The sooner they are honest and transparent, the better it is for crypto investors. It is almost impossible to know for sure ahead of time. We don't have access to other platforms' books or of their internal data. And people are already blaming me to asking questions publicly. Not an easy thing to do, is what CZ responded. Yeah, and I can talk more and more and more about all the interviews that I have that are really, really interesting with Sam Bankman-Fried not answering questions. But let's go to XRP for right now. As of this point, guys, if you've not pressed that like button yet, just know it really helps out the channel a lot, which is why I keep asking for it. And I really want to try and hit about 400 likes on this video. That would be awesome. So make sure you press that like button. Now, we've covered this partially yesterday on stream. And the reason I did that and the reason I'm covering it again now is because we covered this after we'd been streaming for about 1.5 hours. So I'm assuming that the majority of people that are watching this right now did not see the stream all the way through and missed this part. It is a very important update on the William Hinman emails in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, and also, in my opinion, a very important update on what's basically happening next. We have the schedule, we have all the different pieces, but to puzzle them together, that's another one thing. And so James Fillon came in a couple days ago, even though he's only posting it now, with an update as to what's about to happen, and it is beautiful. I have some thoughts on the Hinman documents and the outstanding sealing issues. I don't think we are going to see references to the Hinman documents in the upcoming replies. To the extent the Hinman documents are referenced, I think the SEC will redact those references as they have in the past. And I also don't think that Judge Torres will rule on the sealing issues soon after January 9th, because it probably isn't how the judge actually approaches the remainder of the case. There are 3 big issues outstanding: the summary judgment motions, the expert challenges, and the sealing issues regarding the expert reports. The Hinman documents and the other material relied on by the SEC and the Ripple motions, and Ripple in their motions. Now, again, to quickly summarize this, the summary judgment motions is obviously the last phase in the lawsuit, the most important documents that we have. The expert challenges basically have to do with exactly which of these experts basically cannot be used, which one should be struck down, and 3 is the sealing issues. I believe I might have phrased it the wrong way, but basically the last one here is about what exactly of the experts should be hidden behind closed doors, what exactly of the Hinman documents should be hidden behind closed doors and whatnot. But again, for the rest of this article, I'm going to spare you guys to read. What he basically says is he thinks the judge will go about it in the way, let me quickly rephrase that. The judge will go about it in the way of, she will look at all the evidence she's got, because she has everything. She will then make a determination, and once she's made the determination, depending on what was used to make that determination, those pieces of information will then become public. And so, yeah, in my opinion, it's all quite simple. However, I understand that people are not so aware of all these small, minor little updates, which is why I'm trying my best to give the full story here. The judge will make her determination, see what exactly she used, and the majority of what she didn't use, well, that will most likely stay hidden forever. So a lot of emails will stay hidden forever unless, again, she relied on them and she actually used them to make some sort of verdict, or some of this is going to be figured out later along the lines or down the road, basically. But that will take weeks and weeks and weeks. Again, potentially, this is the last month and a half or so of lawsuit, and really, realistically speaking, this is the last 3 to 4 months of the lawsuit actually being here. There's a very good chance it's going to be over by the end of March, and that is pretty crazy if you start thinking about it. The fact that it's just going to be over in a couple of months from now. The more it continues on, though, the more I'm wondering how far the XRP price will spike, purely because the whole market is not doing as good as it was a year or 2 ago when this all started and when we got so excited. I wonder how far XRP's push, again, the pump, in my own opinion, that I think is going to happen, will actually spike the entire crypto bull market, basically. If it will make Bitcoin actually go absolutely crazy or just minor, if it would just be like a 250% pump day for XRP, or if it will be like 800, 1,000, 4,000% or so. A while ago, we talked about having some longer term long positions open on places like Bybit, for example. Guys, if there's still links down below, for example, for Bybit, for all these other places, I still use them. I'm just letting you guys know on that, or BitGet or whatever. I still use them right now. And yeah, that was actually it for my update. Things are doing pretty good. I'm still pretty excited. I still am a very big believer in XRP. I still buy every single day, and a good chunk of it too. I cannot remember a day that I did not buy $1,000 worth of XRP every single day for years already, and I'm just going to continue to do so. Most of the days, buying a significant amount more than that, and as I said, I'll continue to do that until basically things are too out for price for me, I guess. So when XRP is at $12, I probably won't be buying it anymore because that is too expensive, and I've been stacking up enough, whereas I don't have to buy it anymore. But we shall see. A good question for you guys is, would you still buy XRP at $10? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.